Do you want 2024 to be better than this year? Right, maybe you look back at this year and you just have not achieved what you hoped you would. You haven't hit those goals. You haven't showed up in the way that you hoped you would. Maybe some of your negative habits are still showing up, fighting with emotions, fighting with negative thoughts, self-sabotaging, procrastinating, riding the emotional roller coaster where one day you feel like you can take over the world and the next you feel like you can't even get out of bed. And you might look back at that and feel frustration, feel pain, because you know you've got so much more potential. You know you've got so much more ability. You want more from life. You want to be more. You want to be better in terms of your relationships, your health, your finances, whether it's your business or job. And you might just look back and think like, I don't want to have another year like this one. And maybe it's not been that bad, right? And maybe you're super self-critical, like I am, right? And like a lot of us are, but you just know you can do more. You know you can do better. And you know that you're not getting any younger. You are running out of time, and you very much know that. So maybe at this point, you're looking for a way of achieving more, looking for a way of being happier, being less stressed, managing your thoughts and emotions better, getting rid of negative habits, creating positive habits, and actually just achieving, at least being on the journey where you're not going to get it all done in an instant. It doesn't happen that quickly, but you want to be able to look at yourself on a day-to-day basis and reflect month on year, and feel like you're moving, feel like you are growing, feel like you're getting somewhere, feel like you are achieving, or at least on the journey to achieving everything that you want and enjoying the journey, right? So would it make sense that in order for us to go from living the same life on repeat, or riding the emotional roller coaster, or not feeling happy with who we are and how we showed up, if we want to go from there to actually growing and being happy with who we are and feeling clarity and feeling that certainty and being happy with who we are and how we're showing up in life as well as what we're achieving, would it make sense that we need new thoughts, we need new emotions, we need new perspective, we need a new way of seeing the world, right? Something needs to change. Something needs to be different. Because if we keep doing the same stuff, we keep getting the same results, right? If nothing changes, nothing changes. That is exactly why I do this job and have done for like 8-9 years, right? I've been working with God knows how many people over the last 8-9 years who, if you've watched this far, are exactly like you, right? And that's why every January now we do the Superhuman 30-Day Challenge. What that is we're focusing on 3 areas, essentially. So the first area is self-awareness. Because if you're not aware of something, you can't change it, right? That's the problem, is often the things we need to change are the things that we can't see. We don't know why we act that way. We don't know why we've lost our temper. We don't know why we've been triggered that way. We don't know why we're procrastinating or self-sabotaging or riding the emotional roller coaster. We don't have the answers. Why do we overthink things? Why do we get negative thoughts? Why do we wake up feeling like shit? Why are we not doing what we said we were going to do? Why are we living life on repeat sometimes? Because these things are, we might be aware of the pain or the symptoms or what's going on for us, but we might not be aware of what to do to change it. How do we change it? And that's what self-awareness is about. And that's not just something you obtain. It's a continual journey. So number 1 is self-awareness, where we continually are looking at ourselves, extracting and mining for the answers that come from within. Like, what is holding me back? Why is it holding me back? And how do I release from that, right? What's going on for me? Where am I falling short? Where am I doing well? You know, what are my strengths? What's my personality? What is it that drives me? Because the more aware we become of ourselves, the more you get to know yourself, the more you can get out of yourself, the more you can craft your life to fit your strengths and what you actually want and what you value and what's actually important to you, rather than all the crap that you think you're supposed to want or you've been told is important, right? So that's number 1, self-awareness. Number 2 is self-improvement. So now we've found all the things I've just mentioned, rather than me repeat myself, is now what are the tools or the strategies or the tactics in order to improve? How do I get better at communication? Or how do I get better at managing my thoughts and emotions? How do I regulate my nervous system? How do I get out of these low moods when I can't be asked to do anything? Or how do I come down from stress when I can't sleep or my mind's racing or I find myself snappy? How do I manage my state on a day-to-day basis? How do I change my thoughts, manage my emotions, change my habits, This is the more practical side of things. Once you're aware of what you want to change, you can then, and we'll teach you this, by the way, the tools, the tactics, the strategies, whether that's nervous system regulation, whether that's journaling, whether that's breathing techniques, whether that's questions, whether that's deep exploration, whether it's coaching from me, whether it's coaching on the group calls, etc., right? Or whether that is the next thing. So self-improvement was number 2. The next thing is accountability, and that leads into it. Because if you're like me, you spent most of your life feeling like surrounded by people but alone, like no one thinks like you do, or it felt that way, right? It felt like no one understood me or what I was trying to do, or no one had the same kind of interests, so it's quite difficult because we can bullshit ourselves so easily, right? We can talk ourselves out of things, we can get lost in these thoughts. So the best thing about accountability is showing up to the calls, which are part of the 30-day challenge, showing up to the calls, right? Having someone like me bringing this conversation to you, even when you probably didn't ask for it like now, right? Being surrounded by like-minded people as well, where everyone is inspiring each other. And sometimes you're having good days, sometimes you're having bad days, and everyone is holding each other accountable to what we said we wanted to do, right? What we set out to achieve. And even just reflecting on the week or setting intentions for the week, tools like that, which are really simple. But it means that you're not going at it alone. It means you're constantly giving this your time and attention. It means you're constantly looking in the direction of all the things you said you wanted to improve, and continually looking in the direction of self-awareness, self-improvement, etc., right? So they're the 3 main elements. Now, if you watched this far, I'll put a link. It'll be either in my bio or it'll be in the comments. It'll literally just be a link to a WhatsApp group, because from that place, when everyone's in there, it's easy for me to communicate, and I can send you where I need to send you. Calls, the conversation's easier from that place. So if you're interested, find the link. In short, it's coaching with me and Chris, who you'll also meet. It is a WhatsApp group, and then it's everything I've just mentioned, essentially, things covering self-awareness, strategies and tactics. The whole point, right? Forget about all the details of this, right? The whole point is to give you a platform to jump from, right? To spring off of into the new year, so that you can start the year as you mean to go on, right? So that you can shift even your trajectory of life by 1 degree, which is going to change potentially the direction of your whole life. This can be the one catalyst that changes everything, and that is the point. That's why we do it. That's why I'm doing it. I've said enough. If you've watched this far, then absolutely jump in. I'll put the link somewhere. It'll be comments, or it'll be bio, it'll be somewhere. You will find it if you want to find it. I'll speak to you soon.